Hello and happy 2022. Welcome to the new year. So if you haven't seen me on here before, it's more likely that you've seen my books on Amazon or different places online. I've been writing my whole life, but starting in October of 2021, which I can't believe is already last year, I officially started publishing my very first biblical fiction trilogy called My Brother the King. And the books were My Brother the King, My Rival the King, My Father the King, and then an accompanying Bible study. And they all came out throughout October all the way to December. And it's a biblical fiction series and Bible study on the life of David and Jonathan in Scripture. And so since then, all my posts have been revolved around those books and the launching of them and getting them out there and engaging with the launch team. But maybe you've been engaging with those books a little bit. Maybe you've been reading reviews or leaving reviews yourself, but you're not really sure who I am or why I've been posting some of the few videos that I have so far. So now that the books have been launched and we are now starting a new year, I thought it would be a good idea to sort of start fresh and backpedal a little and introduce myself. So I have a list on my computer here of things that I wanted to mention so that I can back up a little bit and answer any questions you might have had so that you can know where we're going with this going forward. So my name is Jubilee Lipsey, and my name actually tells you quite a lot about me. There's a blog post on my website about this called My Name is Trumpet, and it just has some more details about where my name came from. It is a Hebrew name that refers to the shofar, which is the ram's horn that the Hebrews blew and blow today for Rosh Hashanah, their new year. And it has so many connections with praise and war and worship and the Feast of Jubilee, which is about freedom. And I have lived in those connections my whole life. I was raised by Messianic Christian parents who just loved the Jewish culture and the Jewishness of Jesus and loved to connect me with the history of my faith. I gave my life to Jesus when I was 3 of my own volition, and I've been growing in him ever since. The journey of faith is a process of just maturity and getting closer to him. And it's been the magnificent obsession of my life, really, Jesus, and just connecting with Scripture as a way to understand my faith better has been the greatest blessing of my life. My parents are from New York and I was raised in North Carolina, so I like to think I'm equal parts, attitude and charm, I guess. And my parents always knew that I wanted to be a writer. I started writing at 9 years old, but in high school I fell in love with biblical fiction. And again, there's information about biblical fiction on my blog and why I love it. But just in a nutshell, it really helps us to get past that sort of modern religious mindset that we can't really connect with the people of the Bible because they weren't from our time, or we tend to think that because of the big feats that they accomplished for God, that they weren't like us. But I love diving into the story from their perspectives and really studying Scripture to read between the lines and find out, what were these people like and what were their questions and stuff, because they really were a lot more like us than we think. And that will really illuminate the Scriptures for you. If it's done well, which I really try to do it well, it just really opens up who God is and how we can connect with him because he hasn't changed. So I started doing that my whole life. I started just diving in to biblical fiction. And even though I got my BA in English from Catawba College in North Carolina in 2012/13, most of what I learned about writing just came from reading and studying and just being so in love with the process that I did it all the time. I got better at it. I studied people who I loved their writing, and I studied, what do I love about their writing? How did they do this? And only last year and in 2020, I dove into more professional pursuits. So figuring out, who is my audience actually, instead of writing just for myself, who am I writing for? The people that have the same questions that I did. but that need the breakthrough that I've experienced. And that really, if you look on my website, jubileelipsy.com, you'll see some of the blog posts, and the main page basically says breakthrough. That's the reason that I write what I write. And even before I began writing the novels, I had been writing blog posts like what you can find on the website today, because I really feel like the breakthroughs that God has led us through are meant to be shared and given away. I really only want to write from, with a foundation in the scriptures, from an experience that I've had where I can reach out to someone and say, look, God brought me through this and he can bring you through too. And that's also why I write biblical fiction. I have been so blessed by other people's novels, and I know that if God can do it for me, he can do it through me. And that is one of the most exciting feelings in the world. So now, what's going to be my plan here on out? What can you be expecting? I know I've gotten some emails from people on my email list already wondering, are there other books coming out? What now? So looking over at my computer, make sure I don't forget anything. I'm going to be continuing writing content from the books and continuing the blog posts because honestly, my belief is that life is an adventure. It's full of breakthroughs, and God literally wants us to be on this adventure with him. There is nothing in our process that he can't redeem or transform, and he's the one that makes all of this worth it. And even in the biblical fiction novels, you can see that's the journey the characters are on as well, modeling the journey that we've been invited into. So I have other blog posts on the website, obviously, but my desire now that the books are published is to really engage with my audience, engage with my email list. If you'd like more exclusive content, you can sign up for my email list. JubileeLipsy.com is my website, and there's a sign up link with also all of the links to the books. We're working on getting the Bible study up there as well, but it is already available. And honestly, I'm going to be doing videos weekly, and the email list is the best way to get notified when things like that come out, when blog posts or deleted scenes or just any kind of discussions come out, or information about future books. So you can sign up for my email list. You can search my website. You can connect with me on Facebook, Jubilee Lipsy Books, at Jubilee Author page on Instagram, or Jubilee Lipsy Unedited on YouTube. And honestly, the reason that I'm doing the videos, and the posts, the things that I've already put on YouTube, why do I do that? Well, because these books are not just for entertainment. They have so many teaching points within them because the principles came from Scripture. And the Bible itself says that Scripture was written for our instruction. And God gave me so much impact from these principles myself, from these stories. I have been changed and transformed by them myself, and I want to share that with you. So that will be the majority of the content going forward, will be revolving around the teaching points from the books, but also, resources, fun, other discussions, future book information, possibly some writing tips. I want to engage with author communities about, how my journey went and how I can help you. I just want to engage with my fellow readers and my fellow adventurers on many different levels, but this is going to be the first and the main one. So if you're interested in that, please join me, JubileeLipsy.com, sign up, check on those book links. And just remember that the main focus of this whole project, and indeed all of what I want to be doing on here, on all of these platforms, is actually the main point of My Brother the King, which is that anything that changes you or changes the world-changing friendship, the pursuit of your calling, it all begins with a headlong pursuit of God. So that is a pursuit that I hope you are on, and I can't wait to join you. Thank you so much for letting me speak into your life, and here's to the adventure for 2022. Happy New Year.